was talking with my friend today, and we were talking about life and how to move up, through life in ways that is easiest to you. And we started going down this rabbit hole about how you should go with the flow, and if you don't go with the flow, it creates friction, right? And I agree with that, but I think that it is more mechanical than that, if that makes sense. Like, think about it. If you don't click, move on, right? And I think a drawing of this will make more sense than me explaining it. So I just want to explain it. So imagine that, you're born, you're the star, and you're born. And when you're born, you have this infinite possibilities before you. But then, as you go through life, right? Let's just say you decide to go forward, whatever path that is, you go forward. Every step you take, you have options. Do you want to go forward? Do you want to go left? Do you want to go right? If you go forward again, maybe you'll have the same, path ahead of you, but one of those paths might be a little bit, thinner than the other. Let's just say it's not fully open. So you can go forward, you can go left, and or you can go right. And if you go left, there's going to be more friction. You can go left, but it's going to be harder, right? And as you go through the world, you become conditioned, right? You become better at thinking in a certain way. And if you try to go against the flow of things, it's going to be more difficult for you. So you could fight to fit in, you could fight to click into this spot, or you can, continue, you can go to the right and then see what's, on the right side. And then there's a whole world of opportunities, over there. And, as you go through the world, that just keeps happening. And sometimes you might even, hit a wall, right? You don't want to try to force your way past this wall. Just go around it, right? And even if that's an education, if that's a subject that you're struggling and learning, you could try to force yourself to understand this subject that your brain just struggles with, or you could sharpen your strengths, right? And ultimately it's up to you, but like, I've kind of adapted this idea, which, there's been other philosophers, before me that have also, I think the Buddha was really big about going with the flow, and that if you go against flow, that creates hardship and struggles and things like that. But like I said, I feel like it's more mechanical than, it's not necessarily you go on this riverboat and it just takes you wherever, right? You just go with it and you don't have a choice. You have a choice, but sometimes the road is rocky, sometimes it's smooth, sometimes it's dusty. And you can choose to take the path that is most clear for you, and that path is going to be better suited, to your needs. If that makes sense. And maybe you need to hear this right now. Maybe you're at a crossroads in life and you're fighting tooth and nail to go down this rocky road, and you're telling yourself that this is the road for you. You've invested far too much energy and you're just going to keep going down that road. And what I'm telling you is just, if you want to do it, if you really want to do it, go ahead and do it. But remember that that's not the only direction. You can always go around and take a different path. The longer that you stay on a train, the further you're going to go when you get off that train. So the more stubborn you are about taking a route you don't feel like is for you, but whether it's standards of society or expectations of other people that you're going on that route, just know if it's not for you, the further you stay on it, the further you're going to stray. And eventually you're going to have to get off. Either you're going to get off and then you're going to find that there's less friction again, or you're setting yourself up for a life of hardship and struggle and friction and even potential regret and unhappiness later down the line. So just think about that.